After 50 years of working, I retired. And almost overnight, I felt invisible, like a ghost. The cashier at the grocery store looked right through me. She barely even acknowledged me. It's like I had simply faded into the background. If you felt that way, you're in the right place. Here's what I know: that feeling of irrelevance, it's a lie. Because God didn't wire you to fade out, He wired you to create, to contribute, and to matter. And today I'm going to show you exactly why this season of your life might be the most creative and purposeful one yet. Creation isn't just for artists or young people. It's hardwired into who you are as a human being made in God's image. Genesis tells us God is first and foremost a creator, and we are made in His image, which means creating is part of your DNA. When you stop creating, something inside of you goes quiet. That restlessness you feel in retirement, that purposelessness, that's not boredom. That's your creator instinct looking for an outlet. So ask yourself, what have you always wanted to make, teach, share, or build? That desire didn't show up by accident. It was placed there. Write it down. Don't dismiss it. I had a desire to create on YouTube for years before I started, and I told myself I was too old, too tech challenged, it was too late. Then I watched a man who started his channel at 80 years old me living better. And he got monetized in a few weeks. And then I watched a YouTube video with a woman. It was called Reinventing Me at 60. She started her YouTube channel right after she retired, and she got monetized in a few weeks. And that monetization told me that there was a huge audience for what they had to say. And their videos weren't perfect, and they got better as they went along, but they were making an impact. So I said to myself, if they can do it, I can do it. And that one decision changed everything about how I saw my retirement. So now you know why we're wired to create. Let's talk about what happens when you actually do it. There's a difference between watching other people live their purpose and living yours. Retirement can quietly pull you into a consuming lifestyle. More TV, more scrolling, more watching, and none of it fills that deeper need for purpose. Creating does. Even small acts of creation remind you that you still have something to offer. We have a lot to offer. Start small. Just pick one thing you know, one story you've lived, one lesson you've learned, and share it, whether it's with a person or in a video or a blog post or a conversation or a class at your local library. Just make something and put it into the world. When I had foot surgery about a year ago, I searched YouTube for guidance from someone who had been through it because I was really afraid. I was going to have to be off my feet for months. And there was almost nothing there. So I created the content I wished I'd found. And those videos have thousands of views. It's incredible because I had something real to share. And you do too. And here's where faith comes in, because stepping into something new takes courage. And you may not feel like you have it right now. And that's in this stage of our lives, when we've been so accomplished and done so much, it is hard to learn something new and step out and put yourself out there for people to see and experience. But you don't need confidence to start your next chapter. You need willingness and just one step forward. That's it. Just take the first step. And it's always the hardest. And then after that, it's easier to take one step after another. Every time I start something new, I pray first. I pray that God puts the thoughts in my mind and the words in my mouth and the attitudes of my heart. And that's not a formula, that's surrender. And surrender opens doors that striving never could. So whatever your next creative chapter looks like, invite God into it. Then take one step, imperfect and scared, and trust that He'll meet you there, and He will. Galatians 6:9 says, you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. And that promise does not have an age limit. I stopped creating for months after my father passed away, and I had that surgery, that foot surgery, back to back. And starting back up was one of the hardest things I've ever done. But I made a commitment. I'm going to do a tiny experiment for 6 months. I'm going to post consistently. I had 2 channels and then I added another one. And I thought with each video on each of those channels, I'm going to get 1% better each time. Not viral, not perfect, just faithful and present. And it's already changing me. Go back and see some of my earlier videos and you'll see a difference. And I feel great after I post them, no matter how I feel. It feels great to film and post them. I feel like I've really accomplished something. Um, so retirement isn't the end of your story, it's a new chapter. That's what I found. And for me, creating these YouTube channels. And you get to decide what's in it, not your boss, not your colleagues, not your family. It's all about you. And your next step is simple. Subscribe so we can walk through this season together. Every week, I'm here talking honestly about the challenges, the gifts, and the unexpected joys of this transition into retirement, because you deserve a community that sees you and cheers you on. And if creating a YouTube channel is something stirring in your heart right now as a baby boomer, go and check out my other channel, Renee C. Laurie. The link is in the description below, because sharing your story on YouTube might be exactly the creative outlet this season is calling for. I'm Renee, and remember, this is your season. Live it fully. Have a great day.